He stood on the cliff, gazing upon the blazing horizon, and sunlight glistened off the blood on his face. His once shining silver plates of armor, now stained with blood, caved, gashed and pierced by the cruel weapons that sought his blood and failed his demise. It was a calamitous battle. It carved wounds in him he'll remember for as long as he lives. Havalak, guardian of Valsar, has paid the ultimate price. After the death of their king 15 years ago, the Valsarian army waged war against the tyrant king of Gartha to fend off his oppression over the realm. Yet, the Garthan king's cruelty knew no limits, annihilating anything that comes his way. Overwhelmed by his tyranny, countless men fell like flies, kingdoms leveled, and Gartha suffocated the realm with its grip. The cliff lies in the western sides of the Valsarian lands, and its solid ground embraces the late king of Valsar in his eternal slumber. Havalak stood by his late king's grave, reminiscing the old days when he used to serve him, when they walked the path of justice and glory. It is not the same without you, old friend. The light is fading from our kingdom, and I failed to keep our promise. He lost his king 15 years ago, and today Havalak lost his loyal brigade. The sound of footsteps behind him shakes him alert from his trance. Havalak turns to see the king's Chancellor approaching, walking slowly in his black robe, embroidered with intricate lines of gold, and the chain of the Valsarian Council gleamed on his chest.
My, Lord Havalak. It's good to see you alive.
His colorless lips twisted in a wicked smile that looked foreign on his gaunt face, and Havalak remained silent. The king's chancellor never leaves the war camp. That was baffling.
I salute you on winning the battle. Victory long awaited. But honestly, to survive the Garthan generals, well, that was unexpected.
Survive, Havalak thought to himself. He knew something was wrong when he and his brigade were ambushed by the Garthan generals. As if Havalak's plan was laid to them on a golden plate. The Chancellor was not supposed to learn about the ambush.
Oh, I've waited so long for this day, when the glorious kingdom of Valsar strike down the savages of Gartha, and finally obtaining what all kingdoms fought for.
The Chancellor reveals the thing that started the march of the Garthan king and his savage assault against the kingdoms of the realm. The Red Eye.
Curse you.
Havalak draws his sword. He heard of the unimaginable madness that eats through a man's mind when using the Red Eye. The Garthan king was a fine example of that madness hours ago. Now his dead body lies beneath the rubbles.
You have always cheated death, Lord Havalak. The spears of the Garthan generals failed to serve your end. But even though you survived, death always reached for the ones near you. Your king, your brigade, and soon you will meet their fate.
The Chancellor raised the hand that gripped the Red Eye. It was shimmering red.
I waited so long to get my hands on this Lord Havalak. Because of you and your old king, my plan failed once, and Gartha took it from me, but this time I control it.
Havalak knew the danger he's facing. Failing to keep his promise with the late king, and losing his loyal brigade, it left him with a crushing burden he couldn't withstand. But now he knows exactly where to focus, where to pour that anger and sorrow. It was your doing all along. Despite his wounds, Havalak drew strength from the sorrow and anger within, fueling the wrath that kept him alive through many battles. And he needed that wrath to keep him alive through the might of the Red Eye this time. I take it back, old friend. I'll protect your kingdom, and I will keep the light. By my honor, by the name of every good man fallen, grant me might for one last strike. A strike hard and true. With a thunderous bellow, Havalak lunged at the Chancellor, his sword a blood of metal.
Time to join your beloved king in death!
The Chancellor aimed a red eye towards Havalak, liberating crimson waves of light, rippling through the air around them. Then a red flash consumed all. A booming explosion echoed as the cliff reduced to rubbles.